doing something brief and short, beginner friendly. So if you've never painted before, I think this is something you could explore. Definitely explore with colors. I think it'd be more for somebody that has painted before, only because you're going to need some tube paints. Although when I first started out, I had some Winsor & Newton Cotman tube paints, and that would have worked perfectly. I think I still have those, and that's so long ago, and they're very old. But any tube paints would work, even if you have cheap, inexpensive, something like Reeves, I think, is a brand that's really inexpensive. Can't remember for sure if that's the name I'm thinking. I think it is. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I taped my paper down onto this plexiglass board so that I can manipulate it and move it around and do such things like that. I just used some tape that I like. This is inexpensive tape. I'm trying to get through it, so I'm not using my good tape. This tape will leak on occasion, and I'm okay with that. I do reuse my tape. That's why you see it dirty. And I'm going to grab my tube paints. What color I think I'm going to start with is, I think I will use some, let's see, why don't we try some Quinn Burnt Orange. Actually, you know what? We're going to try some, we'll go with some Aussie Red Gold. This is new to me, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this paint. I'm going to take the back of a palette knife and just dab a little bit on there. I'm not going to do a lot. Little goes a long way. That's even probably too much. A little really does go a long way, so you don't want to use a lot. Then I'm going to take some, I think some Mayan Dark Blue, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to open up, and I'm just going to dab some on there, just like that, just a tiny bit. You could put it on your palette first. You could use a credit card, you could use a butter knife, you could use a cake decorating tool, you can use a lot of different things. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and I am just going to do that. Smear it on my paper in any kind of fashion that I would like. I'm going to take a little bit more of the Aussie Gold. See if I can get it out there. And I'm going to smear some there. And just put it just like that. Wipe some more here. Okay, then I'm going to let's grab, what did I get already? I have mine, I've got that. Let's go with some of the, I guess, Quinn Burnt Orange. Why not? And then, oops, that's too much, just a little bit. And then we will put that here, maybe some up. I'm just smearing it on, kind of no rhyme or reason, I'm just getting it on there. I don't really have a method yet. For me, this is just kind of exploration of color. I'm taking a little bit more of the blue that we chose, and you can use any colors. You don't have to buy specific colors. You could use red, blue, and yellow if you just want to do like more of a primary type thing. Okay, so I just smeared it on there. I'm going to go ahead and take a brush that's not so precious to me, that I don't feel like I'm going to ruin, that I can kind of smash around. I'm going to wet it, so you can use like a mop, a soft round. And I'm just going to, I have a lot of water on my brush. I'm just going to kind of wiggle it around on the paper in the paint and just smudge it around and see what the color does. I can add more color as I like. I can pull it, I can drag it, I can push it. I can kind of, drag it sideways, diagonal through the other colors and see what happens. You can leave white space in there. You can use more water, less water. You can go back to the palette knife and use that to smear some more around. You can splatter water at this point if you wanted to, just to get water on there. There are a lot of different things you can do with this kind of technique. I do like that blue, so I'm going to get some more water in there. I'm just smudging, basically smudging, and then I'm gonna decide if I want those white spots. Some of them I do, and some of them I don't. Okay, so now I got pretty much everything wet, so that's good. You can take your palette knife and smudge, move things around. You can add some, smear it around a little bit and add some texture here at the bottom. You can also take things away if you don't like them. So you would get your clean brush, dry it on a cloth, and then maybe just pick up the excess water. You can also, like I said before, move your paper up. So what I can do is take some water. See, I can see this lump of pigment of blue. So what I can do is spray that with water, and then I can watch things happen. I could spray this other area. Those other two areas, same thing. You can watch what happens and decide if that's something you want or don't want. And if you don't want it, all you have to do is take it away, pick it up, scoop it up, move it around, manipulate it. I'm gonna soak up some of that water with a cloth. And then I am going to kind of take away a little bit of that. I feel like that didn't leave enough light, so I want to bring my light back. Then what I can do is I take my palette knife and I can pull some of that up from the pigment, and I can just suggest trees, some foliage in the background, foliage. Never want to say the word, I can't say it. You can go taller if you want. You can go horizontal if you want some texture going that way. You can use something bigger, and you can use more. You can scrape it in there harder. With a palette knife, I'm just sort of lightly scraping it. Okay, I'm going to do a little more horizontal this way. I do like the horizontal. It seems to give kind of a fun line, right? You could use anything that you like that would give you some texture. You can also take a smaller brush like a rigger, which is just a liner kind of a brush, and you can dip in your darker areas, and you can use that paint in other spots, or you can just grab some more from your palette or your tube, and you can kind of help move that paint around if you want it to move around more, if you want it in more places. And then you can just kind of see what happens. You can kind of, maybe you want to take some of that blue and put it over here. Maybe you want to take some of that blue and add it over there too. Maybe you want to do more of the scraping, scratching, whatever you want to call it. Right? And so say, if you like the idea of trees, right, you can make them more of them. Oh, thank you. That's really nice of you. My chaotic abstract mess. So the idea is just to explore. Nothing has to be perfect. I'm quite honestly using the backside of something else. And so you can use the backside, you can use inexpensive paper just to play around with if you don't want to use your nice cotton paper. I've also used my really inexpensive Target book. Let me show you real quick. Really inexpensive Target book. And I've just done little quick ones like that just to get color ideas down. So you could technically use printer paper for this. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it as like a final thing, but I would definitely use it to just play around with colors and explore options, especially since, I don't know, sometimes these colors can just turn into a big fat mess, and sometimes you don't want to waste your good stuff on it, right? So that's why I use that other book, so that I'm not always using my good 100% cotton paper, because if you don't know, watercolor paper is expensive. Okay, so what I can do again is take some of this color. When this style is very common, right? I'm not the one who made it up. It's been around for a long time. I used to kind of play with it when I was very beginning, but not to this level. So what you can do is take some of this color from these other spots and just sort of start to add some shapes for some trees, if that's something that you are liking. And again, just back and forth, add some more, take some paint. To me, this just looks kind of like a fall tree line, fall tree foliage line. Why can I never say that word when I'm on? You know the other word I can't ever say, or I was trying to say the other day on a live and I just couldn't say it. Ethereal. Ethereal. See? It's like when I'm put on the spot. Hi, Penny! Yay! Yay, I hope life settles down. I know, life was a little busy for me tonight too. I had time alone, my family was gone, I was just sitting on the couch, sofa, whatever you want to call that. And I almost didn't come on, and I was like, no, I need to do this. Helps me kind of free me creatively, and I just need to, do something. So this is what we're playing with tonight, and it's very playful and very carefree, and kind of just a good lesson in letting go. And again, you can take these colors, so I can go back into my blue color if I wanted to, and I could either use the lid and get some of that blue color out. So often I'll do this because the lid holds a lot of paint that just gets smashed onto your top of your paint right here. So I will often use whatever's kind of hanging out around there. And so I did put some on my palette here. I don't want to water it down too much, but I do want to get it watery enough that it's not just going to sit there. And so what we can do is mix that with a little bit of, maybe with a little bit of the yellow, or we can just go in here deeper and then just kind of drop in bits of colors that could suggest other trees, right? Other suggestions. And we're not doing anything definitive. We're not doing anything with super amount of detail. It's all very loose at this point. And again, I did introduce a little bit too much water, so maybe later on we might see this stuff move around a little bit. And that's okay too. It's just practice. It's just playtime. I didn't like what I did there, so I'm just going to erase that. Okay, what I'm going to do is go ahead and take a dryer to this one. And I'll mute so you will not hear the dryer sound. I do want to say though that this is a technique that I kind of was reintroduced to by a person on Instagram by the name of Joanna Gray. Her handle is Joanna Gray 75. I'll make sure I tag her in the comments description as well. But she kind of reintroduced, and I saw her do this kind of work, and I knew that I wanted to try it more. Hello, Kathy. I knew I wanted to play with it more when I saw her work. But I didn't want to copy hers or try to mimic hers, so I stopped looking at her page. I looked a few times and I was like, okay, no. I didn't want to be, hello, Mexico, Gustavo. I didn't want to be, super influenced by her techniques because I felt like that would be taking from her. So I just wanted to use the general idea, the gist of things, and play. And so that's what these are, just general playtime ideas, right? Not replications of her work. I have not done that. I was tempted. Don't doubt that. I was definitely tempted to do exactly as she's done because she does beautiful work. But I really did want to try to make it my own, which is funny though because I follow another person that I love their work and I absolutely follow all their tutorials and demos, and so I don't know. I guess I pick and choose which ones I don't know. That makes no sense, right? We humans are confusing that way. So I'm going to add a few little birds, and then I think I might add some shimmers. No surprise there. If you paint often with me, there's always shimmers in the mix. The process is so fun. I'm having so much fun. It is really fun. It's although I do like to mix it up. I like to do all this stuff. Kathy, do you find that I don't want to do too many? Like I feel like I like a variety. I feel like I've come to that point where I did a bunch one night. I probably did like 6 or 8 in a row. I was like, okay, I think I'm good for a little bit. Because it was just, I wouldn't say repetitive. It is different every time, which I love that aspect. But yeah, to do a few and then do a sketching thing and then maybe like a more traditional landscape. I think I really like, I could never see myself only doing this technique or this method full time. That would, I don't know. Maybe I'm just not good enough at it yet. Maybe that's why I wouldn't. But I just don't. I never feel like this would take over my my own style per se. It is fun though. It's really fun. So if you haven't tried it, I would highly recommend it. Just if anything else, just for the color exploration, right? And to kind of really just go crazy with exploring different colors that do different things and seeing what you like. And again, that's why I use that cheap, inexpensive notebook, because you can do little mini thumbnails in the cheap paper and then just do the good ones you like on paper. And I think, I don't know if I want to add trees here. Maybe I don't know. Maybe just some little bits of some things here. I like to explore colors with it. Yeah, that's how I feel too. It's just a really fun way to explore a little bit, and then maybe it inspires you to bring those colors into something else you're working on, maybe in another way. I also think that it could really help explore colors for skies. Like I could see using this trio in a regular landscape, right? Not just this kind of abstract, intuitive, I don't know what some people call this, spontaneous. I'm not sure. I guess I was trying to debate the difference between spontaneous and with myself that is, not with anybody else. Spontaneous and intuitive. Initially I was like, oh, those are the same. That's just silly. Those are the same. What am I thinking? That's the same. But I don't know. I kind of feel they are, and then I kind of feel they're not. I think it depends atmospheric, that too, Kathy. Is it a combination of kind of all of that? I'm not 100% sure, to be honest with you. And I couldn't come up with necessarily a solid thing, and maybe it's just a personal thing. Maybe it doesn't have to be. I don't know. I was really on the fence about that one. What do you think? Do you think it's like a atmospheric, spontaneous, intuitive? Are they all the same thing? I mean, I guess atmospheric wouldn't necessarily always be the, well, I don't know. Atmospheric would be more would it be more the feeling, and then spontaneous, intuitive would be more of the actual actions of doing it? Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to debate whether I should throw in some trees in here or just leave them kind of bare like fall. I feel like this area needs something over here though. So I don't know. So I am using some blues that I mixed on my palette, and I think this one is Mayan Blue Genuine, which is the darker one. They're not the same, but they're all good description. Yeah, I guess that's true. I guess they just kind of all describe the same thing, but they don't necessarily mean the same thing, right? This all could be described as that. Just when you break it down, it doesn't. And abstract too. I feel like they're abstract. I feel like they're very abstract. Loose abstract, intuitive abstract, spontaneous abstract. I feel like they could be a little bit of everything. I do. I guess it would just depend on who. My camera's really shaking. I don't know why my table's so shaky right now. Let's see what's going on. I don't know. All right, I'm just going to add suggestions or little hints of trees. I'm not going to really paint them all out so much. I'm just going to kind of, I have a bunch of not splatters, but I have a bunch of texture over here. Oh, see, I don't like that. Boo. All right, let's see. Let's just see if it'll come up a little bit. There we go. I think I'm just going to leave that. Yeah, didn't care for that, trying to do that. I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to leave it, and I think that'll be it. Let's take the tape off. I don't think I want to do anything more to that. So you don't have to put pressure on yourself, right? These can be quick. These can be 5 minutes, 10-minute kind of practices, 10 to 12 minute, 10 to 15-minute practices. You don't want to, my suggestion would not be to spend too much time, especially if you're just starting and playing with the colors. After a while, after you kind of get past that, okay, I got, 10 or 12 of these done and I got the color thing done. Then I think you could spend a little more time kind of fidgeting with them. But I think before that, I don't know if that's, I don't know. I'm still on the fence where I don't love how deep and dark those little like, shiny hard bits go. So I do try to diffuse those as much as possible, and I try not to use too much paint because again, I don't love some of that. Sometimes I do a little bit of texture, but that's a lot of texture for one piece, right? I feel. Let me see. On this other one, these other ones I did, I feel, yeah, like this one. I like how this one has it only on the edges. I feel like the light in the middle is nice. I feel like this one has decent balance, in my opinion. This one was kind of a mess up. It wasn't my best. The trees I liked, but this weird green thing just looks like I smeared it wrong. I don't know. And I didn't try to like fiddle with it too much. These are just really quick, really, really fast. Didn't love the way my metallic is going onto my paper. I don't know if I need a better brush to apply metallic, if it's something different, because it's so much thicker. I'm not able to get the details that I can with my normal trees. I don't know. I need to figure that one out because it's kind of bothering me. So my trees normally look like these green ones, right? And look at those gold ones there. They're just more clumpy and not what I like. So this is a hot press paper by Etcher, and it's being released tomorrow, I think. And the backside is smoother, but you could totally use it, and I did. I used it last night on. So this one is the original side. It has a bit of a texture, more texture than cold press or than hot press. I would think hot press would have. I thought this was kind of hideous, but it did have some fun contrasting, messes. And I don't know, I just went with it. So anyway, on the back side is the really smooth side. Oh, wait, is that opposite? No, that's right. Is the really smooth side, which I would call the wrong size, right? This is the block, so typically blocks would only have one side, although with Bowling you can use both sides. So this side is the smoother side, and I don't know if you can tell, but I feel like it's less of that jumpy texture, like here, where the little splattery texture. So you get a little bit less of that, which I actually think I like. Isn't that crazy? I would not have thought I would like that, but I mean, I like a little bit of this texture, but it can overtake if you're not careful. I think I might sneeze. But then again, this has the same texture and I didn't let it do that as much. So it just depends on how you're applying the paint, how much you're applying, how soon you're getting to it with water and a brush, and what kind of brush you're using, and how much water you're using, and how much you're smudging it. Remember when I was working my brush into the paint to kind of move it around, I could really have dug in if I wanted to and diffuse that more. So there's a lot of different ways that you can play with these and manipulate. And again, scratch paper, backside of Arch paper. Arch is amazing because it does both sides. Bao Hung, same. Kilimanjaro, same. Love the back sides, and that's a vegan paper, which I'm really happy with. So, all right, that's it for tonight. I will see you guys next week. All right, thank you. Oh, Lucy wanted to say hi. All right, Lucy, thanks for showing your... Yep, okay, that's awesome. That's super awesome. Lots of gray. All right. All right, on that note, since all you see is my gray cat, at least it's not my gray hair. Oh, thank you. Thank you for sticking around. All right, bye, Lucy. Thanks for visiting too. All right, I appreciate you. Thank you. Bye.